What's good, everybody? Before we get started with the episode, go ahead and hit that like button, that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode. And if you're listening on Spotify or wherever you get your podcast, go ahead and give me 5 stars. All right, let's get to the show. Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to the Take Your Pick podcast. If your boy sounds a little bit under the weather right now, it's because I am. Nose is all congested, throat's itchy, sneezing here and there. It's allergy season. Allergy season is upon us, and I am taking the brunt of it. I'm doing my best. I'm popping my pills. I'm drinking my water. Need to start getting some tea and all the other little herbal stuff to clear this all out because it is not fun. But we're not here to talk about that because no one cares about that. What we do care about is the Miami Heat reaching the finals once again. People, we are not supposed to be here. We're not supposed to be here. Think about what it took for us just to get to this point. We lost to the Hawks in the play-in game. We were down to the Chicago Bulls with like 3 minutes left, made a run, took that game over, won it. We go into Milwaukee, beat up on the Bucks, beat them 4-1, gentleman's sweep. We go to New York, and I'm not going to lie, New York had us on the ropes for just a little bit. Doesn't matter. Beat them 4-2. Then we go take on the Boston Celtics. Take on the Boston Celtics. They gave us a 3% chance. They gave us a 3% chance. Oh my God. Kanye, talk to him for me real quick. We were utterly disrespected. To be honest with you, I owe my own franchise an apology. I owe them an apology. When we went up 3-0, and everyone was all excited. Oh, Miami Heat's going to sweep the Celtics. Oh, the Celtics turmoil. Oh, this and that. I said, no. I can't get excited. Miami Heat, they're going to lose the series. And people thought I was crazy. They said, what? What are you talking about? I said, watch. We're going to lose this next game at home. And people thought I was insane. I said, just watch. No way that this Boston Celtics team is going to get swept. So they win game 4. And I said, okay, I see it. They started building a little momentum. They go back to Boston. They win game 5. I was almost wrong when game 6 happened because we were down and we fought back. Took the lead. We were a Marcus Smart 3-pointer away from putting it away, and he chucked that 3, clanked it. I almost got excited. Then we see Derek White come out of nowhere with a tip in to send the game on back to Boston. Now, I expected Game 7 to be competitive. I truly did. I truly expected Game 7 to be competitive, come down to the wire like it did last year. Last year, we were in this same situation, and Jimmy Butler decided last year that he was going to take a fast break 3 to win the game. He went for the win, not for the tie. I respect it. But we lost last year in the same situation. And that's what I thought it was going to be this year. I thought we would get to game 7 and it'd be a dogfight. It was not a dogfight. It was a bloodbath. It was a massacre. Miami Heat walk into Beantown and destroy the Boston Celtics. Oh my, Kanye West, can you do it for me one more time? Miami Heat reached the finals again. This is twice now in the Jimmy Butler era that we have reached the finals. Wow. And what makes it even crazier, is that we did it as an 8th seed. We did it as an 8th seed. We are the first 8th seed to reach the finals that wasn't in a lockout season. That's very important. That wasn't in a lockout season. Since 1999, that team that did it was the Bulls. Oh, not the Bulls. I'm sorry. The Knicks. The Knicks did it last year, that year. So we are the first. We really had a 3% chance to make the finals. That is unheard of. Unheard of. And we come in there and we handle business. We almost gave it away. Okay, let's just be real. We almost gave it away. We almost did. We tried to. But we didn't. And that's what's important. We fought in Game 7. And we came out there and got the job done. Boston Celtics, the pressure was back on them to get it done. And they just couldn't do it. It's the same thing happened to them last year. But it happened to them in the finals, right? They were up on the Warriors. And the Warriors said, all right, we're done. Steph Curry decided to get hot. And put him away. Night, sleep mask. It was over with for them. Same thing this year. Everyone was getting buckets. Everyone. But let's continue praising the Heat here just a little bit more before we get into these Boston Celtics. We're going to praise the Miami Heat just a little bit more. So before the season started, ESPN, they do their thing where they have their predictions of who they have reaching the finals and, all this other kind of stuff, right? So out of all of their analysts, and there were about 18 of them that were surveyed, only one person predicted that the Miami Heat would reach the finals. And not only did he predict that, he predicted that it would be the Heat and the Nuggets in the finals. And he also predicted that it would be a Miami Heat championship in 7 games. In 7 games. If that happens, I might just have to book a flight to Miami for the parade. I might just have to do it. But the one analyst who got it, his name is Israel Gutierrez. This guy right here, no one else believed in the Miami Heat but this guy. He I cannot believe it. I think that's one of the reasons why they were given a 3% chance of reaching the finals. And since they were only given a 3% chance, and then they made it. Like, what does this mean for analytics, right? Because we hear about analytics so much when it comes to the game of basketball. ESPN may have to, well, they're already doing their layoffs, right? Some of these guys probably gonna have to go. These guys are gonna have to go. They need to find a new analytics crew or just throw it all out the window. I'm here for that too. But the Miami Heat rolled into Game 7 with so much confidence that they bought their plane tickets to Denver before the game even started. What? How do you have that much confidence? Wow. And they went and got it done. One other thing that we all learned from this series, if we didn't already know this already, is that Eric Spoelstra is the best basketball coach in the NBA. He might be top 5 coaches ever. He just might be. I mean, think about it, right? He had the big 3. He coached them. They tried to get him fired in 2011. Good thing that didn't happen because Pat Riley is a real one. Pat Riley held it down for the guy that he hired and ultimately ended up leading the Heat to 2 championships back to back. Also getting to the finals in 11, 12, 13, and 14, and 20. And now, that is, come on, man. Come on, Eric Spoelstra. Best in the league. The way that he makes adjustments in game, his use of timeouts, which Joe Mazzulla has a lot to learn from, but just the way that he adjusts is incredible, right? So Boston in games 4, 5, and 6 got really hot from three. I mean, really hot from three, right? Although in game 6, they kind of slowed down just a little bit, but they hit enough big threes to get them a good lead throughout that game until the fourth quarter came around and Miami made that run, right? He decided to go zone. He decided to go zone in like the fourth quarter of game 6. And I think he realized that this is probably going to be the move going forward, because that's exactly what he did. Like 90% of game 7, and he made Boston have to make more threes. But, you know, typically when you're in a zone, you want the other team to shoot threes, right? But you usually save that for teams who don't have great 3-point shooting. This Miami Heat zone that he puts them in is like they're able to close out so easy. They're still able to get boards. They're able to force turnovers, which is exactly what they did. They forced a ton of turnovers. I believe it was about 15 turnovers in this zone. That's phenomenal defense. Phenomenal. It doesn't get talked about enough. Their defense doesn't. I mean, we talk about Jimmy Butler, him as a leader, playoff Jimmy. We get all that. We talk about Bam's defense. But as a collective, Miami's defense, it is great to watch. It is very hectic. They're going to be all on you. It is great. It is great. Man, Eric Spoelstra, one of the best to ever do it. Can't wait to see what his statue is going to look like outside of the arena. So, Miami Heat, speaking of threes, completely outshot the Celtics in game 3. All right, completely outshot them. So, Miami Heat shot 50% from 3. Meanwhile, the Boston Celtics shot 21% from 3. So, Miami shot 14 of 28. Boston, 9 of 42. 9 of 42. Stephen A. That is the question we all need answers to. Because not only did they shoot 9 for 42 in that game, right? They shot 16 for 77 in the past 2 games. What? That's how you lose the game right there. That's exactly how you lose the game right there. Matter of fact, Coach Mazzulla has something to say about that. Check this out.
Sure, what was the difference between tonight and the last 3 games where you seem to be playing with confidence? The defense was good. There was energy there. Tonight, it just seemed like after the first 6 minutes, something changed.
We shot 21% from 3. Defense was still there.
Is this team too reliant on the 3-point shot? Does that have to change?
No.
Can you believe this, man? When he gets asked if this team is too reliant on the 3-point shot, and his only answer is no. But then you look at the stat sheet and say, we shot 21% from 3, 16 of 77 over the last 2 games. How are you not too reliant on the 3 ball? How does that make sense? I don't understand it, right? So this team also, they started 0 for 10 to start the game from 3, right? How do you do that and then not make any adjustments? You come out of your timeout and are still chucking up 3s. That's like the whole game plan. When they're not making 3s, they suck. The Boston Celtics are not that great when they're not making 3s. When they're on, but when they are off, they are way off, right? So here's something else that I found. particularly funny about this whole 3-point debacle, right? Because y'all remember back in, what was it, 2019, when the Rockets had a chance to put the Warriors away for a chance to reach the finals, right? And they choked it away, right? Because they missed 27 straight threes. 27 straight threes, right? They were 7 for 44. Their record is safe because the Boston Celtics missed it by 2. They were 9 for 42. Yeah, that is just bad basketball, man. That is exactly how you lose games. It's exactly how you lose games. And I'm here for it. Miami Heat adjusted so well in this game, and that's exactly why they win. Played great defense, forced tough shots, and made tough shots. Made easy shots. It was so great to watch. I was so happy. I was hyped the entire game. Couldn't stop tweeting during the game. Loved every second of it. Now, Jimmy Butler, he won Eastern Conference Finals MVP. He finished the game with 28 points. And he didn't even want to hold the trophy. Like, when Bam was holding the finals trophy, he didn't even want to hold it. He said, no. I'm waiting to hold the championship trophy. Jimmy Butler is a dog. An absolute dog. I would love to have him on my team any day. Oh, wait, he's already there. Jimmy Butler. He is amazing. He has been great. Now, he sucked in games 4, 5, and 6. He was atrocious. Let's just be completely honest here. Jimmy Butler was atrocious in games 4, 5, and 6. I don't know where his aggression went from the first 3 games, but those last 3 before game 7, he was giving us nothing. He was really giving us nothing. It was all Caleb Martin, but it didn't matter, right? In those games, we got beat. Game 7, Jimmy showed up and showed out. Now, there was a little bit of controversy about who should have got the MVP award. Should it have been Jimmy Butler? Should it have been Caleb Martin? Well, Caleb Martin, he did give you 23. He was big in this game, man. We do not win this game without Caleb Martin. But he did score 23 on 11 of 16 shooting. He scored a total of 132 points in this conference finals, passing John Starks for the most points at a conference or NBA finals by an undrafted player. But don't worry, I'll be taking my shot later after saying undrafted player. Anyway, but there was controversy about that because, just how well he played the past 2 games. Jimmy Butler statistically was still better than Caleb Martin, but Caleb Martin is a better story. Honestly, though, you could not be mad at either one of them. I don't think Jimmy Butler cares regardless. He just wants to win. I don't think he cares at all about this trophy. He wants the finals trophy. That's what he wants. He wants to win the NBA Finals, and I am going to be tuning in. I'm going to be glued to this series. I cannot wait for this to start. It actually starts tomorrow. At the time of this recording, this is Wednesday, May 31st. NBA Finals starts tomorrow, Thursday, June 1st. This is going to be a great finals to watch. But back to Caleb Martin and Jimmy Butler. They are they are only the second duo in Heat history to score 25 points each in a series-clinching finals win. You know who else did it? It was LeBron James and Chris Bosh against the Indiana Pacers in 2014. Wasn't D Wade because his knees were gone. It was LeBron James and Chris Bosh. Oh, 1 second. Excuse me, I had to sneeze there. Told you, man, allergies are a pain right now. They are a pain. So these 2 guys, though, they are playing so great together. 1A and 1B. I would sit here and criticize Bam. In all honesty, he deserves a lot of criticism, but only because his offensive game is just so poor. It's just so poor. Like, for somebody who gets paid as much as he does, somebody who has been an all-star, considered an all-star caliber player, someone who has such a prominent role on his team, you would think that his offensive game would be better, and it just is not. I mean, he misses little bunny hook shots. His mid-range game is just so inconsistent. You know, I don't really trust him on the offensive end. He always looks like he's hesitant. He's great at setting screens, though. He's great at setting some screens on offense and getting offensive boards, and that's where he comes in big. Offensive rebounds, and defense. Bam was the major catalyst behind our interior defense. Quite frankly, our defense as a whole. I mean, if you really go back and watch, Bam Adebayo can switch on every pick and roll. He was blocking Al Horford anytime Al Horford tried to big boy him down in the paint. Wasn't happening. Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, anytime they switched on Bam, Bam was ready for it. So that's where I have to give Bam a lot of credit. I criticize him a lot because his offensive game is lacking. But in all honesty, Bam's defensive presence is huge for this team. Now back to Caleb Martin, because he is like the major story of this series. I believe last series, or at least the first two series, it was all about Gabe Vincent and his story and Jimmy Butler going off against everybody. But Caleb Martin has been that dude in this series. We don't win without his play at all. So here's what's interesting about Caleb Martin, because people keep talking about, oh, pay that man, extend him. He's not eligible for that just yet. Not just yet. Okay. Next year he'll be eligible for that, because he signed a 3-year, $20 million offer just last season, and he's not able to be a free agent until 2025. And Gabe Vincent, he's only getting paid $1.8 million. And he will be an unrestricted free agent in July. He is a player that we have to bring back, because he's a major catalyst to our team now, and he is going to command big dollars, right? Just like Austin Reeves, you know, all the news about him that came out. You know, he was one of those guys who you wouldn't expect to be that big of a contributor to the team, and look what he did for the Lakers, and now he's commanding big dollars. And the Lakers are already saying they are doing everything they can to keep him. I expect Pat Riley to do everything he can to keep Gabe Vincent, right? Because Kyle Lowry's only getting older. And Victor Oladipo, injury prone. He might go ahead and go on and retire, man. These knee injuries are not good for him. All right. They have not been good for him in his career. So Gabe Vincent, he's got to be our guy. He has got to be our guy. But then we also got another dog on the squad, and that's Max Strus. Max Strus coming in big time with those 3-point shots that he hits, getting to the line, just playing great defense, being a great contributor on the team, right? And what's even more wild about this is because he also went on Instagram and he was, you know, he's talking his talk, man. He's talking his talk because the Celtics actually cut Max Strus. They cut Max Strus to keep Romeo Langford. I forgot this dude's first name, but Newsmith and Taco Fall. They cut Max Strus for those 3 bums. So Max Strus goes on Instagram after we win Game 7, and he posts a picture of himself in his Celtics jersey saying Miami to the finals. That is cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. All right, man. So let's talk about these Boston Celtics, though. Like, I give my team a lot of praise. We're going to the finals. Life is good right now. I can't wait to watch it. But these Boston Celtics, man, they really choked it away. They really choked it away. I mean, after Game 3, and they were talking about, like, after each game, they'd say, don't let us win another one. Don't let us win another one. Don't let us win another one. If we win tonight, it's over. Like, they had a lot of talk, and understandably so, right? You come back from 3-0 trying to be the very first team to come back from 3-0 to win it, to win the whole series. Be the first team. Gonna make history. It's been 0 and 150. Now it's 0 and 151. You blew it. You blew it. I wish I could say I feel sorry for the Boston Celtics fans, but I don't. I don't. I want to, but I don't. You guys deserve every L that you get. We hate you. Nobody likes the Boston Celtics fans. But anyway, Jason Tatum, he came to the Garden, man. He came to TD Garden wearing a jacket with KG's face on the front, right? That said anything is possible, right? I think he was really feeding into the idea that they were going to come back from this 3-0 deficit and win it all in Game 7. Well, it's possible that could have happened, but he proceeded to roll his ankle on the very first play of the game. And it was not a good, it didn't seem like something that he should be staying in the game for, like at all. But, he fought through it, and, you commend him for that. But if you're going to be on the court, like, you've got to be able to contribute, right? And he did not truly contribute much of anything. Then you had guys, you had Reggie and Stan during in-game commentary. Literally, since the point that he twisted his ankle to the point that he sat down at the end of the game or in the fourth quarter when they were down like 23 and they knew it wasn't going to play anymore, they would not stop talking about this man's ankle. Anytime you saw him, you're talking about the ankle. He got a breakaway dunk. He dunked it, came down awkwardly, hobbled a little bit, talking about the ankle. Miami goes on a run, they're talking about the ankle. Like, it would not stop. I don't want to hear the excuses. It's unfortunate. Yes, it's unfortunate that he hurt himself in this game. I don't want to hear it. And that's why before I said, you ain't Kobe. You ain't Kobe. Kobe tore his damn Achilles and still finished some free throws. Kobe, didn't he tear his shoulder or something? Shot that shit left-handed. Like, you're not Kobe, man. You're just not him. But then your sidekick, Jaylen Brown, comes out here. Jaylen Brown was ass. Jaylen Brown was horrible. Horrible. I don't know who Jaylen Brown has as a trainer or who his dribbling coach is in the offseason, but he got to find somebody else. My man's can't dribble at all. He has one real move that kind of works, which is his little step back, snatch back between the legs. But outside of that, my man's dribbling ability is bad. It is bad. So bad that my man had 8 turnovers. He had 8 turnovers. And I believe the Celtics as a whole had 15. He had more turnovers by himself than the rest of the team. But this does put him in elite company. It puts him in elite company. Jaylen Brown is just the 5th player with 8 or more turnovers in a Game 7. The only other player who did that and their team actually won was LeBron James in 2018. And guess what? That was against Boston. Well, that was when LeBron was on another level, okay? An otherworldly kind of run. No way were the Celtics going to beat that 2018 team. LeBron James was just absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, Jaylen Brown, 19 points, 8 turnovers. That is exactly how you lose games. That is exactly how you potentially fumble the bag, because my man is eligible to receive roughly about $60 million a year over 5 years for an extension. because I believe he made an all NBA team. So that makes him eligible for that. But if I'm a GM or an executive or whoever pays these players and I saw that, matter of fact, if I saw what I saw basically this entire series, man, I'd be like, is this guy really somebody that I want to give top dollar to? Now, don't get me wrong. Jaylen Brown is a great player, but is he super max money great? Is he? That is like the real question right there. Is he super max money great? I don't think so. I don't know if he can be like your best player on your team. I don't know if he can be your second best player. In all honesty, he might be your third best, depending on where he plays. I think his time in Boston might be done. I think he might call it quits. Now, they're talking about they're going to give him the extension anyway. It's going to be offered to him. I don't know if he signs it. I don't know if he wants to play in Boston anymore. There's always been noise about whether or not he's going to, play in Atlanta or Orlando. I think were the two top spots that teams were saying he should go to. We'll see what happens. But I think we've seen the last of Jaylen Brown in a Celtics uniform. But even though he stunk up the joint, we got Derek White out there being the best player on the court. And here's the thing. It's kind of like when Denver played Phoenix. And it was, Game 6. It was Game 6. And Cam Payne was out there because Chris Paul, like clockwork, injured himself again. I think it was his groin this time. So Cam Payne's out there. When Cam Payne becomes your highest scorer on your team, just chalk it up as a loss. You're not going to win. All right? And that's exactly what we got here. We got Derek White being the best player on the Celtics, scoring the most points, hitting the most threes, drawing fouls, getting to the free throw line, playing some defense. He was the only player on the Celtics that wanted it. Everyone else was trying to get to Cancun as soon as possible. He was the only one that came to play. And when he's the only one that comes to play, that is not a recipe for success. You know who I really feel bad for in this whole situation? I feel bad for Blake Griffin. He's like the only player from that Lob City era that has not made it to the finals. He's the only one. It's really sad. It really is sad. I mean, Chris Paul got there. DeAndre got there. Blake Griffin's just waiting for his turn. And it's so cold, too, because I saw someone on Twitter today, man. Lana Rhodes talking about come see your son before they ship you off to China. Like, come on, fam. Ni hao. Anyway, we had a Derek White versus Caleb Martin, Game 7. And that is not what I expected at all. I did not expect the two role players to have a back and forth in the game and keep the game somewhat competitive until it wasn't anymore. That is not what I had pictured in my mind at all. In all honesty, I pictured the Heat losing. And that's why I said I owe them an apology. I pictured the Miami Heat losing this game going into Boston, but I should have known better. I should have known better for a couple reasons. Miami Heat players, they have a lot of experience, right? And you could say the Boston Celtics do too, because they made it to the finals, last year, whatever. But they got that. We got the best coach in basketball. And Boston sucks at home in the playoffs. I don't know what it is with them not being good at home. I think they've lost more games at home in this playoffs than they've won. I'm pretty sure that's the truth. I think they're 5-6 at home. Unheard of. Completely unheard of. And that makes you wonder, is Joe Mazzulla the right fit for this team? You know, people are saying, oh, he deserves to be fired. He's in way over his head. Yada, yada this. Yada, yada that. And I don't know. On one hand, I kind of understand, right? I mean, you were down 3-0. Sure, you made your comeback. But before you even made your comeback, people were talking about getting rid of you. They're talking about how you're losing the locker room. You know, things of that nature. There were reports that came out that the team missed Ime. How does that make you feel as a coach? You're the current coach of the team, and they're talking about, we want the other guy. Yeah, there's turmoil in the locker room. But I have to give him a little bit of grace, because when he took over the team, I don't think he was necessarily prepared to. That was the coaching staff that he has weren't his guys. You know, so he kind of had to rally the troops and pick it up from there, right? And speaking of the coaching staff, they all are leaving. They are all heading down to Miami, or not Miami. I'm sorry, to Houston to be with Coach Udoka. They're going to coach with Ime again. They said, we don't want to be with this guy. We want to go down to Houston. So now he gets to pick his own staff if they keep him. Now, I see them keeping him for at least one more year because he has $14 million guaranteed in his contract for next year. I see them keeping him for one more year and see how he does. And if his team isn't nearly as successful next year, then they may have to call it quits with Coach Mazzulla. All right, so up next, we're going to do a little Nuggets and Heat preview. But first, this episode is sponsored by absolutely no one. But what you can do is go ahead and hit that like button, that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell. And if you're listening on Spotify or wherever you get your podcast, go ahead and give me 5 stars. All right, back to the show. All right, so we got the Nuggets versus the Miami Heat. Again, like I said before, only one person that was an ESPN analyst or whatever predicted this finals, and they got the Heat in 7. And personally, I think I have learned. Hold on, let me fix this real quick. Yeah, I think I have learned my lesson against going against the Miami Heat. I am picking the Miami Heat to win in 6. I got the Miami Heat winning in 6. I believe in my boys. I believe we're going to get the job done. Miami Heat in 6. Now, we got some interesting some matchups in this series. We got some interesting matchups. So, I think Jimmy is going to be on Jamal Murray. Bam is going to have to guard Jokic. I mean, he's the only person we can do it. And then pretty much you just got everybody else, right? You know. Now, here's a major question that Coach Spo's got to figure out. For one, is he going to try to run that zone again? Right? Because it's different when you got like Al Horford in the middle of the zone, or Robert Williams or Grant Williams or somebody like that in the middle of that zone. The Nuggets have Jokic. Jokic is like 7'1". An elite passer, and I wouldn't say he's an elite shooter. He's a very capable shooter. That's the word I'll use. Jokic is a very capable shooter. He's going to be able to hit the open man. So I'm interested to see how much zone is Coach Spo going to be willing to use. You're going to have to be willing to go man a lot just to deal with Jokic and that big man lineup. I mean, good thing we went and got Kevin Love and Cody Zeller. Good thing we got them, because we're going to need somebody to start taking some fouls. Like, that's pretty much what it is. We're going to need people to start taking fouls as far as our defense goes. Now, our offense, I think our offense, I expect it to flow a lot smoother against the Nuggets. Yeah, because here's the thing, right? One thing I noticed in the series against the Celtics is that there was a lot of Bam and Jimmy pick and roll, but the Celtics would switch Robert Williams onto Jimmy, And that would cause Jimmy some problems. And I think that's why he was so hesitant to try to shoot the ball. Because you got Robert Williams, who's like 7 foot tall and he's got like an 8 foot wingspan, right? And it's hard to shoot over that. It's hard to attack that, especially because he's known as an elite shot blocker. Now, Denver doesn't have that, right? Denver doesn't have that at all. Is Jokic capable of playing a little bit of defense? Yes. He's not staying in front of any one of our guards if we can get that pick and roll switch. That is not happening at all. So I think that's where we can gain an advantage there. Also, here's the thing too, is that we have to get into, our 3-point action early. I think the 3-pointer is going to be the thing that wins this series for either team. Because Denver, we saw what they did to the Lakers. They torched the Lakers from 3. Torched them. Michael Porter Jr., he is a sniper. Torching them. KCP, torching them. Jamal Murray, torching them. So, we have to focus on the 3-point line as well. We got to be able to guard the 3, and we got to make our 3s. And we can't make our 3s. It might be a very tough series for us. But I honestly think we are better matched up for the Nuggets than most people think. I really think that. I think our bench is a little bit deeper. We're also getting Tyler Herro back. We're expecting him back around game 3. If that is the case, and he comes off the bench, which I fully expect him to come off the bench, you don't want to ruin the momentum and the chemistry that the guys have right now. You want to be that guy that comes in with Kyle Lowry to get some buckets to get our second unit going. That way we don't have to rely on Gabe Vincent so much. Even though Gabe Vincent is a great player, having one other person out there that's a threat to score the ball, another player that's a threat to get 20, is phenomenal. So if we can hold off until game 3 and let Tyler Herro come in and get his rhythm back for a little bit, I really do believe Miami has a solid chance at winning this thing. I'm picking the Heat in 6. Oh, here's another thing that they have to worry about, okay, is focus on everyone else but Jokic. Let Jokic get off. He's going to get his triple-double regardless. Let him get off. Let him do his thing. Let him go and get his 23, 15, and 12, whatever. Let him have it. Don't let the other guys get off. My primary focus would be Jamal Murray. Don't let Jamal Murray get 25. If you can do that, I know that's a lot easier said than done. I know it is. But if you can focus on that, I think the Miami Heat win the championship. I think Jimmy Butler and Bam and all these undrafted players get their first championship. But all right, hey, that's going to do it for me on this one. If you guys are watching on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good jazz. And if you are listening on Spotify or wherever you get your podcast, don't forget to give me 5 stars. All right, everybody, I'll catch you on the next one.